Yeah, what was that?
Oh.
Oh
God, I forgot I had that.
Oh no. 1 second.
Hey, Spencer.
I would, but that messes with my stuff. And I
What, is
don't
something going on? What happened?
You were possessed for a minute.
What?
You've been playing too much Phasma, man.
Oh, shit.
Have we started yet?
I've been recording this whole time.
Oh.
Fantastic.
So, this is one of those, like, when do we want to throw the intro in type of thing.
Yeah.
Probably after we mention people by name who had to get tested.
Mike!
Well, we all know Mike's here. He's on the ball with that one today.
Hey, you remembered your name. I'm really proud of you. It's been, what? How many months has it been since we've done one of these things?
36.
It's been a while.
I'm glad you spent the off season studying your
Did
name.
you
was
say
practicing.
36?
I did say 36.
Well,
3
I'm
years
pretty
would
sure
work.
I still lived in Gaylord.
Yes, you did.
It's been at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Ryan
Well,
wasn't married yet when we started
I
this.
Ryan
wasn't
just got married.
Just got married.
Because he's alive.
So since the last episode, we've bought a house, bought a dog, had a kid. I left a job, got another job, left that job, got another job, and I have a job interview tomorrow. So it's been a big...
Sweet.
Actually, yeah, it's been at least 3
It has been 3 years.
Yeah.
because I didn't even have a PC yet.
Yeah, it's been 3
Yeah,
years.
I was the console guy.
And
That's
you thought,
right.
You thought I was
And now I
joking.
am.
and now
Well,
Ryan's the council guy.
You have a pretty good reason to be a council guy. Just
I
saying.
like the couch.
I mean, you have a child.
Well, yeah,
What?
since-
I have a kid?
Yes.
You just said it.
Not again.
By the way, you might hear my kid occasionally on the microphone.
Which is fine. Oliver, he's welcome to come in and guest star, you know?
On it, guys. It was September 14th, 2017.
We saw...
Oh my... Why is there an echo?
That was the first one.
Hey. Why?
Just like that greatly.
The gang
We solved
solves
drugs.
drugs. Yes.
Wow.
Hmm.
I'm just going to go on a limb and say I don't think we actually solved it.
No.
Yeah, what were we talking about? when we
Honestly,
solved this?
I don't remember. Black tar
Something-
heroin.
Yep,
I remember
that was
there
one
black
thing.
tar heroin involved.
And I tried to reel you guys back in because it's starting to get out of line with the drugs, and you guys kept going on the drug rampage.
Was that the Turbo episode or no?
No, that was War Stories.
Oh, yeah.
that's correct.
And
Okay.
it was Nitro, I thought.
Oh,
Nitro. It was-
yeah.
And the Nitro.
The first episode was that the one where Josh planted his field of
Oh my God.
That was pretty epic.
yeah.
And then
Dicks.
Pablo Power Bottom. I had Pablo Power Bottom's Steam handle for quite a while.
Well, that was also the one where I think I said I was infertile because of having a laptop on my That was false.
Oh no!
Hey man, I thought I was immune because I drank probably 20 gallons of Mountain Dew in the course of a few weeks. Well, still had a kid anyway.
Oliver's just slightly green now.
Yeah.
He's
Why
like,
is
one
my
of
kid?
those- he's like one of those stars on your ceiling and when you were a kid that like glow
Yeah.
when you turn off the light.
Oh, this is weird. Hey, why is my kid so hyper all the time?
Your child is 20% Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
We
Possibly
thought it was
more.
jaundice when he came out.
So if you drink a lot of Dr. Pepper, we could be a doctor?
Ooh. I'm willing to test this theory.
Let me know how that works out for you.
Okay, science.
Science.
So, intros, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get that out of the
Well-
way before we just go down this rabbit hole any further.
We're already in the rabbit hole.
I am the rabbit hole.
Wait, we have to go down the line. This was an issue last time.
Oh God, mine's not in the line anymore.
I don't know.
Is it alphabetical for everybody or no?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
alphabetical. Yeah.
I don't think you can change it. But yeah, I'm Brent.
I'm Spencer.
Mike.
Nimmy.
He can read.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Tyler.
And
this is
Party Fest?
Party chat. Party chat.
Party
Chat.
Chat.
Yeah. We forgot the
Read it,
title.
everybody.
We forgot the title after 36
We're
months.
still bad at this.
I heard that's what the kids like. This is the new humor, from what I understand. It's
It's
close
meta.
up. It's close up angles on your camera, and it's stuttering as you speak. That's what humor is nowadays.
For Zoomers? Zoomer?
Yeah,
Zoomer?
Zoomer humor.
Yes. All right.
So, as my
Wait,
my-
Zoomer humor?
Zoomer humor. Yeah, we would
This
understand
chicken
those.
was fucking
Yeah, we're
swole.
boomers. We don't understand.
We're millennials.
No,
I heard
according to like Twitch and that whole area, we're boomers.
Yeah, there's only boomers and zoomers.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, I am a
Yeah.
boomer.
This is definitely like genetically modified.
Yep. Wait, what kind of chicken are you eating, Mike?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, like
What?
What?
during his Conan the Barbarian days.
Oh shit!
This is fucking gigantic. I love the pound.
I want some of that.
Organic free range my ass.
Chicken powerlifting.
That
Chickens were eating each other.
fucking chicken could box jump a bungalow.
This was the one that survived the Hunger Games. Fuck.
Yeah, these chickens have been in the yard.
Come again?
Oh,
Okay.
no. I don't ever want to hear somebody ask me to come again in that voice.
Oh no. It'd be Zarya, if anybody.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh boy.
Getting to pop in
Well-
the bubble.
This board got weird.
This fan fiction's getting out of control.
It's 5 minutes.
5 minutes. We've been out of line for the last 15 minutes.
You're out of line.
I like how we get the intros out of the way. It's like, all right, guys, straight to the shitstorm. Let's go.
That's all,
Burn it
that's all we
down.
know. That's all we know.
Why
All right.
up my nose?
So I haven't been around in a while. So what have you guys been up to?
Go ahead, Tyler. You first. Reverse order.
I actually I hadn't been playing much in a while, but then we all okay, yeah. So let me tell the story of Brent's fault.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Bring it up. Let's air this out now.
So I kind of got to the point where I didn't really feel like playing much, and then, like one day at work, Brent's like, "Hey, I think Lynn and I are gonna play World of Warcraft. We're getting in for Shadowlands," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, cool." And they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're also gonna play Alliance," which all my characters were Horde for BFA, so I was like, "That's cool. I'll start re-rolling some characters now." And this was before the original announcement, so I started leveling up characters, and I think in the course of a month I had 4 max level characters on Alliance. And then, well, at the same time I was doing that, literally everybody I know got into World of Warcraft for the first time ever, which is sweet.
Nope.
Well,
Not all of us.
Not Ryan, but
Well,
Ryan.
not all of us have crotch goblins.
Ryan only gets into WoW once every 10 years, so he'll come back around
Every 4.
every
I think
4.
I might have joined you if I wasn't already in ESO.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. We were playing ESO a little bit. The problem I have is every time I play another MMO, I just want to play
Just think
WoW.
about WoW. Yeah.
Yeah, then I end up back on it. So, anyways, yeah, we have I don't know how many thousands of hours we have combined between all of us now in
Yeah,
leveling
too
up
much.
characters. But guess who's not gonna play WoW with us?
I plead the fifth.
Brett, Mr. Let's Go Alliance.
Lynn wanted to go Alliance. I was just following the crowd.
darn
Follow my
it!
girlfriend.
Lynn wanted to go Alliance and Brent wanted to get laid.
Yes. Considering I was going to go see her in a month after I started playing WoW. Yes, I wanted to get
You
laid.
You gotta follow the rules.
Yep.
But we played the heck out of it, and right now I'm
Oh
just
god, yeah.
on a slight break. Shadowlands comes out in a couple of weeks, and I've just
Same.
been playing some other games, trying not to burn out.
Nice.
Got into Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a scary game.
Saw some streams and such on it. Been following a couple Twitch guys have been playing it. It looks funny enough. Like it's one of those games where it's a simple looking game, really,
Yeah.
but it's all the organic content. It's the what's
It's
the
about the group you play with, really.
Yeah, it's about the people you're with more than anything. Like Among Us, it's really about the people you're playing with in the.
Yeah.
Is it
Can
called
I ask a serious
immersion
question
gameplay?
about
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
So, I watched a couple people playing it and stuff like that, and I have debated downloading it. Is it Ghost Adventures, the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Except you can die and ghosts are real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to go grab my wallet.
So essentially, for our listeners that have no idea what that
Listener.
about,
Listener.
one listener. That's right. I apologize.
I'm talking to you,
You're
Fox.
talking to me later because
Phasmophobia is a game where essentially you are running a ghost identification company, not hunter. You're not dispelling ghosts.
You're not Ghostbusters?
You're not busting them ghosts.
we're just
You're
profiling.
going in with a bunch of different tools like EMF, thermal, cameras and whatnot to see like ghost orbs and stuff. And you have to go into the house, identify which room is the ghost room, and then you start pulling out and using these tools to identify what they respond to. Each ghost responds to 3 different evidence. Once you've nailed down those 3, you have bonus objectives that to complete for bonus money, essentially. And yeah, I mean it's an absolute blast to play. Kind of played so much in the last 2 weeks.
You have like
Now-
70 hours, I think.
Wow.
in it.
Something like that.
Isn't there a voice thing in there where you can ask the ghost questions?
Yeah.
As
just
questions,
grab
you're also there's a Ouija board that'll randomly spawn in the house.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
maybe you covered. Is the ghost a computer or is the ghost a player?
Computer.
It's a computer.
It is a computer. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. The
There's
guy.
12 different types of ghosts. You have a journal. At the very end of the page, you kind of fill in your evidences and then mark your answer. But then you also have all the pages before it are descriptions of the different ghost types. So in tougher hunts or investigations, you'll be like, I really have no idea what this is. So, and at this point, we don't really have to do this. But when we started, you kind of read through the descriptions and be like, well, it's doing this, it's not doing that. It's kind of more like this than, so you kind of determine what direction to go based on the information that they have, for each of the different ghosts.
And then it's not really by the timer, but there's a mechanic called sanity. And the longer you're in the house and the more things the ghost does, the more your sanity drains. The lower your sanity gets, the crazier the ghost gets until eventually it'll start hunting to kill you. So you're basically trying to figure out what it is and get your evidence and get out before
And
it
that's your
starts
timer
killing people.
mechanic. Got
Yeah.
it. How many players?
4.
4 at a time. Got it.
Yeah. And it's, I am not a fan of horror games at all. I typically hate them. But this isn't traditional horror in the sense that they're just trying to spook you around corners and stuff. The way the sanity mechanic works is really genius in the way that this game is scary. Because as you're in the house longer, you're getting more scared, and your character's reflecting that in its sanity. So just by nature of you being in there and knowing that sanity's ramping up, you start to get more nervous. And then when the ghost reacts and does things, it sets you off. And it was actually the point to where one of our first hunts, Spencer and I were in a house. And one of the things you can do on lower difficulties is you can take a picture of your friend if they die to get insurance money for anything they would have bought. So they get some of their money back. Because you lose your items if you die. And you'd have to rebuy them. So Spencer dies in a hallway.
No. I died at the front frickin' door. Okay. I had the camera on me, a photo camera, which I think probably just about rolled out the front door. Right, to be figured. I die, and before I even when you die, there's a little cutscene that you see sometimes, and then you're just like a spirit that can walk around, right? Before I spawn into my spirit form, I hear the truck start up and Tyler drive away.
I was not going back in there.
Look on. It's a thing. You didn't have to go back in. You stand at the front door. You probably could have taken a picture from the truck and it would have counted.
can't risk the ghost getting in the drug rampage. You can laugh for that shit.
No cameras left behind, Tyler. Jeez.
No one wants a haunted camera.
Does the gear buying? I'm sorry, I'm kind of like torched from work today. Is there any sort of like persistence in and out of game sessions?
Yeah,
there is. Okay.
The only time you would ever lose your gear is if you died. Like if you bring stuff, so anybody can bring. You can buy stuff, and it's like in your inventory. And then if you choose to bring it on the investigation, if you were to die, anything you brought to the investigation, you would lose, and you'd have to rebuy.
Gotcha.
Right. So amateur, there's 3 difficulties: amateur, intermediate, pro. Amateur difficulty gives you a 5-minute countdown for like prep time in the house as soon as you open the door of the van. And if someone takes a picture of you, it's 50% of your insurance money back. Intermediate's 25% with a 2-minute prep time. And then professional, 0 prep time, and there is no insurance money on pro.
But that said, the money you earn in game, it's like super forgiving. Like both Spencer and I right now just have more money than we know what to do with.
Yeah.
So at no point did I ever.
I now own 20. So last night I hit $10,000.
Holy crap!
And I now have 20 of everything, and I still have $2,000. So
The nice thing too is you can actually complete the hunt or the investigation and figure out what the ghost is with only the starter item. So you have a base item, like you have a EVP, you have one flashlight, you have a picture camera, a video camera. So you get all the pieces of it, all the tools you would need to prove what the ghost is, and you always have those items, even if you were to die.
Yeah, if you ran out of everything. The crazy thing is, this game was developed by one guy. This was originally a plan that this was his first game he ever made, and he was just expecting maybe 500 people would play max, right?
Yeah.
And then it would trail off, and it'd be fun to give him just enough money to maybe start a next project, right? Well, at a certain point, I think his peak right now is like 119,000.
Yeah.
He's in early access. Originally, he was going to have a short early access and then push out the full release with just minor bug fixes. And now he's extended out the early access period to add a lot more features for the amount of people that he has. But he's adding things in like possession, where a player can get possessed. And the other players have to like dispel, the demon or the spirit from their friend, right? And he's adding more maps, and it's unreal the kind of stuff and ideas he has. It's exciting.
Yeah, and I think the main thing for me is the way it presents the horror, and just how unique of a game it is. Like for me, I haven't really played anything like this in a while. Just a really fresh experience, and that I really like. A lot of people have wanted him to like add PvP into the game, but it seems like he's really sticking to his guns, understands the vision of his game, and is going to keep moving forward with that. So I'm excited to see where it ends up. And it's I still like, even with 70 hours in the game, like it doesn't like. When Spencer dies, I don't just immediately leave or Alt F4 anymore. I am not as scared of the game as I was, but I still like occasionally will get caught off guard. Like I get a good scare at least a couple times a night, and that's sort of what I look for now, is putting myself in positions where I can get scared, because that's sort of the, even though like getting scared seems like a weird thing to want to do, it's like sort of the joy in the game is having that suspense and having that fear. And you sort of now that said, I did sleep with the lights on for 4 nights after playing this game. so
it is slightly spooky.
It is, in the sense that like movies like The Sixth Sense and like movies that are like believably scary. Like this could potentially happen.
Would it match the scene from Signs at the birthday party? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when he walks across. Yeah.
Yeah, the TV.
Yeah, it's at least like that.
I did actually walk past the TV that turned itself on the other day.
Yep, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Returning it.
But there are times like
Nope,
we'll have
nope.
like zero activity going on, and then all of a sudden you'll have the spirit box, which has a one-word response when they actually want to talk on it, and they'll say like, "Okay, here's a situation for you." So we were in a smaller house. We sent Tyler in, right? We only had one more piece of evidence that we needed, and it's in the garage. Okay.
Oh god.
And it was, yeah, and the possible evidence was either voice box, so it comes back with a robotic one-word answer, or EMF5, which there's it's just like a little gray box that you hold. And so Tyler's sitting in the garage by himself. I'm watching him on the computer monitor, much like you guys see in Discord chat right there. Okay. I can see like his side profile. And Tyler goes, "Are you here?" And all at once, his meter jumps. It responds to him saying behind, or I think it said attack.
Yeah.
And it also breathed, had like a deep breath in his ear.
Yep.
And I just see his head dart past the TV monitor, and then I see the spirit truck right behind him. Like he was maybe 3 feet behind.
I have my back to the garage wall, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this evidence. This is fine. And yeah, I say, give me a sign.
And this was after a long hunt of. I mean, we had some stuff happen, but nothing all too major to anticipate the cluster that this was about to be.
So this is like this particular ghost type is called a shade, and shades are shy ghosts. And what I've noticed in shy, but all
shy guys.
I was just curious to what the ghost was in that screenshot because he doesn't look very shy.
So they all have secondary behaviors to help you identify them. Like some will go through walls, some will be really aggressive, some will throw things. This particular type of ghost was a shade, and they're shy, so they will give you evidence slowly over time, and they won't be super active. But then all of a sudden, all at once, like especially when you're by yourself and your sanity gets low, that's when stuff starts getting crazy. So like I'm in there, I'm like, okay, this ghost is not, and my guard is down because I don't feel particularly threatened by this ghost. And I go in the garage and I got my back to the garage door and it's like, okay, can't get behind me. I'm good. And then I said, give me a sign. Spirit box says, attack. My EMF spikes 5. The lights flick on. I hear a whisper in my ear. And I'm just like, I'm fucking out of here. And then
you did escape.
Yeah. And then, it was behind me. Chased me right out of the house. But it's just like it's the moments like that make me
and that's why we play in game chat, not Discord, because part of it is when a spirit goes into a hunt, it cuts communications from the truck to inside the house. So you get there's a meter in the truck that has like a graph that's kind of going off up and down, but you hear the flashlights start flickering everywhere, and it cuts communication. So
and the doors outside lock.
Yeah, all exterior doors lock.
Oh,
so it really adds to the like, oh god, it's hunting. And every once in a while, especially with Tower, because he's a little bit of a yeller. You hear his local chat in the distance because it's all proximity based.
Yeah.
You're like echoing outside of the house, like get right out of here. It's a good time.
Oh my god!
I'm installing it.
It's I am not a big horror fan, and I know that you're not, but
I'm really not. But
it's just like those first few games are gonna be real nerve wracking, but it's a really fun group experience.
I think that's the cool part about it. Is,
and there are things for people to do from the truck. There's the camera systems. There are a bunch of different meters.
That's cool
to kind of monitor. So there are times that people are just like, look, I'm not going back in there. Like, all right, that's fine. Stay in the truck, monitor our sanities, monitor, the cameras, whatever it may be. until we force you inside. But,
Yeah.
Until you have to go get a picture of a ghost by yourself.
It's your turn to die.
but
Cool.
What you been playing?
I'm okay with what's been happening with Cyberpunk, but I was hoping to have been playing Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
By now.
Yeah, I think we all are.
But I'm good with it. I think CD Projekt Red has done us really well in the past. So if they say they need more time on this title, I think we're really going to see a pretty awesome release. But I haven't really been buying new games. I did spend a little time on Crusader Kings 3. That was very entertaining.
I've always been interested in that franchise.
Didn't
That's on Game Pass, right?
It is on the PC.
Didn't they add Create Your Own Lord now in that?
I think it's coming in a patch.
Yeah, that was a complaint I had. Not that the vanilla system was bad, but it's hard to get attached to, just pick this random.
It depends too where you start, because your ruler could be in his 50s or 60s, and you might only have him for a little bit. It's not until you get 2 or 3 generations in where you start to have an attachment to that lineage.
Right, but it's kind of an annoying part too for a starter. Like somebody you would expect to be with for a while. Like okay, here's this 20-some-year-old ruler, so he's got like 30 or 40 years of life expectancy left, you could imagine. But it's in like this tiny little province, and he's going to get whomped on. And it had the same issue with a lot of RTSs where if you Stellaris was a huge example of this, where some of the starting empires are just too damn powerful for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter like how hard you try to sprint for fleet power. You're just not going to be able to overtake them without alliances. And I hate being forced down that route, but I appreciate that really is the realistic way to survive in a game like Crusader Kings.
I guess there was a huge problem with the Byzantine Empire and stuff, and a couple other ones, and the Holy Roman Empire, depending on what start that you had. I guess they toned it down a bit. I was playing a game about a week or two ago, and I had a part. Basically, the Holy Roman Empire basically disbanded within 50 years. There was some messed up secession thing that happened, and the Pope, and I don't know. So things seem to have been tweaked, but I'm gonna get back into it probably pretty quick when I get some free time. That game is fantastic.
So is that like it's another menu systems heavy game?
Very.
Yes, very.
Yep.
Nice.
Like picture if Stellaris had Stellaris is real time, but basically think of Stellaris as turn based, but you can't see your ships running around actually. Like if you build 3 frigates, you're not going to see your 3 frigates kind of thing. It's all like there's a map, there's a lot of menus, it's all turn based. To an extent. I mean,
I'd say it's more like Total War, like there's the turn based part of Total War.
Yeah, think of the Total War combat if you could never get into the battle.
Okay.
Yep, it's there was one game where I did start off as like a little podunk place, and I don't remember where. And basically, what I did is I married off one of my kids to one of the kings over in England, and basically all of my neighbors had huge troop counts, nothing I could deal with, and basically called my allies in for that next 20 years as my way of basically growing my empire before I could actually have enough troops to do anything on my own. You can play the game like that. Yeah. You can have people assassinated or have a chance of assassinating people. So like, for example, I had a trait on one of my guys that was like malicious or something like that. And normally you can't assassinate your own kids. Certain perks or traits that you have in your character may allow that, where like my firstborn was going to get most of my land, and he was by far the worst of my kids, and I actually had to assassinate 2 or 3 people down the line to get the one kid I wanted as the successor. Because when you die, everything goes to whoever your next successor is. So
yeah, which was they did a great job with that. The hereditary stuff. The passing of the traits, and then the amount of traits, positive and negative. I saw one guy, I think he modded a character, or I would assume he would mod, because I just feel like this wasn't possible genetically, but he was able to get a character with every single negative affliction, negative trait possible on, and it was, I gotta find this character, because it was like you have a character portrait, and when you get these traits and whatnot, it actually affects the way that their portraits look.
Yeah, I had basically herpes with my female character.
Yeah, like you can have, like, if you get the plague, you'll have like an iron mask.
Yeah.
If it affects your face.
She went to a brothel, and she ended up attracting herpes.
Oh, here it is. This is all of them.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's really cool though, because I mean, they're not all like horrible genetic ailments. They have like personality type traits too. Like this dude is sadistic. This dude, ruthless. That this is you. Unfortunately, I just read that.
It changes depending on like your mental state too, and the certain traits you have.
Yeah, but it unlocks what you can do, even to the point where you can try to create a dynasty through incest.
I had one where I had a bunch of people serving under me, and I wanted to basically they were vassals, and I wanted to basically get rid of the vassals without any of the consequences. So I held a feast, and then I burnt my feast hall down, killing them all.
Oh, I didn't know that you could do that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was. I had sadistic. I don't remember. It's been a bit, but yeah, it popped up. It wasn't my intent, but I was trying to hold a feast and kind of like get people happier with me because I had tried some bad stuff, and they were.
But then you killed them all.
Yeah, and then it gave me the option of burning it down, and I was like, "Well, that solves the problem."
I played one game, and my wife, which had her own people wherever else, and she became her father or whoever had died, right? So then she inherited her own. She was the queen of her own country.
Cool.
And then she declared war on me.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, a big thing to remember in that, too, is until you get far enough down the tech tree, which you don't start at any of these dates, you can't have one successor that takes over everything. So if you have too many kids, your kingdoms, when you die, are same for anybody else, like any of the computers, you'll see basically like a kingdom of England, and then it will split upon the death of a king because there will be actual wars of a territory and inheritance. And that's your time to actually make moves on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, damn, do they not have birth control?
No, they don't.
And there's a lot of incest.
Yeah, you can also join like Holy Crusades and stuff if you're high enough aligned with your church or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was playing in Iceland, and I ended up joining a crusade and took over Jerusalem with the Vikings. And then my granddaughter of the line actually was the one that got they gave her the land after it was over. And so when she inherited the land from that, they asked me if I wanted to play from her position instead of mine, so I could actually have switched lineages at that point, which I thought was kind of interesting, but I just also laughed at the fact that the Vikings controlled Jerusalem.
That's pretty good.
I have some Viking talk when we get to it.
There was the story, too, in Crusader Kings with a player who, I mean, I don't know, I guess that was his, like, one goal in this game, too, but he ended up playing, like, major long ball to a point where he was able to cannibalize and eat the Pope.
Oh my God!
About that.
Yeah, he ate. Yeah, that one made the cycle, the news cycle. But I love how your experiences really are.
The amount of work he put, like he did it all legit.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't game anything. He basically just had to found his own religion, that allowed cannibalism, and basically gamed it to where he was able to capture the Pope at one point, and then instead of executing him, if you're a cannibal and your religion allows cannibalism, you can eat them. And there's a system in there called dread. So if you do a lot of bad deeds, but you're kind of like notorious for being a bad guy, you can kind of keep suppression down by having a bunch of dread. Basically, people fear you and they're too afraid to rise up. So I imagine eating the Pope would really, really.
He also got food poisoning from eating.
Yeah.
So the like the stuff you're talking about with the traits and like founding your religions and stuff, is that sort of similar to like the Stellaris, like building your empire stuff, like your traits and?
It goes a little beyond it.
Yeah, you can tell they were kind of built from the same foundation, at least from an idea standpoint. But yeah, Ryan's right. It is way deeper than anything you're going to see in Stellaris.
Yeah, because you can also slowly modify your religion to be what you want. It's a big investment. You're
you need a lot of piety.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a generation. You might play an entire character just to earn enough piety to do one of these small changes. And then after that, you have to worry about trying to convert your vassals and stuff like that. But yeah, you can basically tweak the religions you are. You can adopt a whole new one. And I don't have the exact number, but I mean, it takes some time to scroll down the different traits. Like you are.
There's tons of them.
Yeah. And they're little small things.
What happens when your character dies?
You
the next in line.
Your successor. Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
So
it's literally the long game,
which is cool because I can't remember the. I always pick Viking starts for some reason, and the
because Vikings are awesome.
They are pretty awesome, but they also have a really cool starting religion that I can't. Just with an A, not
Astari.
Astari, thank you. Their starting religion is really fun, but it's also kind of safe. You get to do some crazy ass shit, a lot of like murder, sacrifice,
Blood Eagles.
Blood Eagles.
Oh yeah.
But the ruler, a male ruler, gets to take vassals. Or I'm sorry, not vassals, concubines. But it guarantees that you have a succession plan, essentially.
Oh yeah.
And you can legitimize bastards too if you need to.
And you can give them titles.
The thing
claim, that kind of thing.
I like about some religions, like is it Astari or Astaru? It's something like that.
I think it's Astaru.
But they allow rates. And the farther you get into feudalism, you kind of lose the ability to raid because it's not formalized warfare. But if you're one of those countries or religions that allows it, you can basically go in and just mess people up before you even actually declare war. And it's a good way of earning revenue, and you can build tall off of it.
That's true.
That's my favorite way to play.
That's the name of it.
If you're the largest territory of your religion, I think is what it is, you get to actually pick what your religion's developing in the tech tree.
Yeah, and same with your what is it called? Culture. So
that's what it is, the culture. Yeah.
Yeah, an Irish start and you hold the most land, you have the highest. You can kind of do that, like I said. So you want to kind of, what I do is I rush the different parts of feudalism that allow me to kind of have more control over my succession. Because if I have 3 kids and I have however many territories, my capital and the bulk of the territories would go to the guy I'm going to be playing next. And then the other 2 would basically get some sort of split. But if you don't plan it right, you can really mess yourself up upon succession, where you're like your revenue generating cities end up going to the people you're not playing.
Which you basically start over at that point.
Or you take them over if you have to.
Yeah, get them back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're basically always every 40 to 50 years reconsolidating your power.
And that's a very cool perspective in a video game to have the player step outside of any particular character's shoes and really think about the main player characters as disposable, essentially, because they are.
Yeah.
Weird.
Only other game I can think of that does that is XCOM, and that's a weird comparison.
Yeah, I mean, you are the commander, but your ability to complete the missions is entirely reliant on your A-listers, really, your top gunners. And man, when I lose top gunners, I am very tempted to save scum in XCOM because I don't want to lose those guys. I don't want to lose the gear. I don't want to lose the skill. It's an investment at that point.
Did you guys play Wasteland 3 at all?
I've been meaning to, but I have not yet.
When did that come out?
September?
Yeah. It's on Game Pass as well. I heard there's no save scumming in it. That's why I mentioned it.
I think a lot of games are getting better at preventing save scumming.
Yeah.
I have Wasteland 2. I never played 3.
I've heard good things.
I have as well.
I think the launch was a little rough, but I think they've ironed it out since then.
Nice.
Nate, you would like it. I think it takes place in Colorado.
What's a Colorado?
I don't know.
A place that was on fire and then snowed.
It's got big hills.
It's still on fire. Just less.
Brokeback Mountain time.
It's mountain goat time.
Yeah, that game sounds cool. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's worth the money.
Remember when I said Steam wasn't putting anime porn?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I went to look for it afterwards.
I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
I went to look for it afterwards.
There's 2 of them now on the popular upcoming page because I was looking for Phasmophobia, and they're sitting right here.
I can
Which one are you gonna get, Mike? You have, swap games?
Give me a Deep Space Waifu Phasma crossover.
Dude, one of these like pretty rapey. I'm actually kind of surprised Steam lets us shit.
There's
Their
actually
content filtering has always been bad.
Well,
what they allow.
I don't think they're trying to filter this.
They're not trying to filter their stuff, but what they do is like what you find is based on what you've been looking for. So, and they also do have like
I need to log into Steam and see what I've been looking for.
But they do also have an adult setting where more of that stuff will surface. But like I heard that this existed, so I decided to go searching for stuff on Steam, and boy howdy, is there some stuff out there.
Boy howdy.
And when you start looking for it, it starts surfacing itself again.
How do they define looking for it? Like if I click one of these popular upcoming,
yeah.
Okay, so I now have the search history and
and now my front page is loaded with tentacles. Okay.
Boy.
I'm gonna take you guys' word for that.
But I mean, it's similar to way like a search or like YouTube's algorithm would work, where if the more you look at a particular genre, it's going to serve you more of that. And then it's got like the top 10 recommended games each day. Like if you're looking at some hot anime waifu, you're going to get a lot of that stuff in your top 10 recommended games each day.
Huh.
But that's so. I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm gonna keep going.
That's pretty neat. I'm gonna delete my Steam account.
Yeah, can I start over?
Wow,
Mike, if it makes you feel better, I just found one that appeared on my soon-to-be released games that you might be interested in.
What's it called?
The Fuda Fix Dick Dine and Dash.
Whoa!
See, that is not on my popular upcoming, so let's talk about this, Nate.
I don't know if I want to click on it. That's the problem.
Don't. It's not.
Half of me
worth
is
it.
coming to read the description of this because those are the gems.
Can you right-click on it and then copy a link and send it to Mike so he can look at it?
Oh, absolutely. I can paste it to everybody, guys. Come on, take a look.
I'm pretty sure we have a new segment coming on, which is this game title real or not?
Is this content?
Someone write that down.
Did someone develop this?
Develops a strong word.
Bee Simulator. Huh, all right.
Somebody developed with their pants off.
Most definitely.
So beat your dick on the keyboard. Yeah, this looks good.
Oh god.
Yeah. But yeah,
So-
it's kind of interesting that Steam just. I mean, some of this stuff is like okay, like whatever. Like you have to expect you're going to get a lot of porn, sex-based games. It's just the eventuality. But like some of this shit's kind of like rapey, and
That's not right. Yeah,
I'm
that's not
surprised
cool.
that Steam lets the stuff.
I think it's
Why?
it's one of those situations where, and not to say that they haven't stumbled across this stuff, but it's also one of those situations where like anybody can put a game on Steam. So I think it's a similar situation that some of the big social media platforms run into. It's like, how do you monitor this? And YouTube had this problem for a long time. But I think, it's the other problem too is not just the should this content exist or, should my kid who's surfing Steam be able to run into this, but also
Right.
like it also makes it much harder for games to, for like legitimate developers to find an audience because they have to, be stuck and muddled in with all this other crap,
Maybe they shouldn't let everybody on Steam. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe.
Tyler,
Maybe
I
not.
don't want to excite you too much, and I know you're the only person that would relate to this. American Truck Simulator Colorado.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
dude,
yes,
It's on my
please.
front page.
Is
Yes, please.
Did it just drop or is it still?
November 12th. Yeah, it just dropped today.
Hell yeah! Oh my god! Yeah,
Uh-oh,
I'm playing that.
we just lost Tyler.
I think they put the Ford. I think they put a Ford in there as well. I can't remember which one.
You
I'll
can't
click
bail
on
on
this and find out. I just
The only thing is, I've driven the entirety of I-70 through the Rocky Mountains, and if it's not fucking accurate, I'm gonna roll heads.
Well, this
Speaking of driving the Rockies,
If I can't send my truck up the Silverthorne runoff, I'm done. And if you guys haven't seen the Silverthorne runoff, look it up on the internet. It is insane.
has anyone played that off-road game that we were playing? Whatever it's called, I can't remember the name now.
Muddy Blummers?
Muddy Blummers.
yeah, Muddy Blummers. That's the one.
I have not played that
I
recently.
haven't played SnowRunner recently. No.
I wonder what they've. I don't know. I haven't played it either. I just
I'll look it up.
I think
curious.
don't they have a new map in there? Yeah,
Probably.
weren't they working on Canada?
I mean, Canada's working on Canada.
That was like a year. That was over a year ago when we played that.
Yeah.
Has it already been a year since
no.
you guys got on that?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was this year. It had to have been this year.
No,
Oh, it's an Epic game, isn't it?
no, because I lived
Yeah.
in. It was before COVID. I didn't live here.
This has been
I
a
lived
long
back-
year, okay?
Did COVID really do this to us? Like, we
What
lost
year
track
is
of
it?
time?
Yes, absolutely. I still feel like it was when COVID began, but now it's November.
I'll tell you about back the podcast. They announced, 2 days ago that we have a vaccine that might work. So we're like, bringing the podcast back. It's time
Yes.
to give the people hope.
Like it's safe. It's safe to digitally connect now.
They got the we won't catch it from each other.
Yeah.
COVID.
You guys are all
I mean-
wearing masks, right?
No, I'm.
I have a screen over my microphone, so you're safe.
I do too
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I got that wind guard.
I'm raw dogging it.
Yeah,
And me
Shit.
too.
Oh god. Well, they're dead. It's a 4-person podcast now.
Well, 5.
God.
When
RIP
Fox
to the
comes
real
back.
ones.
Oh, you're right.
I see the title you were referencing, Nate. I'm gonna read the description, just so yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna read one sentence of the description.
I'm excited. Get me, Daddy.
Ooh, these ladies are packing heat.
Oh no!
All right. So I have a general idea of what's happening in this game right now.
Yeah, they probably have a bigger dick than I do.
Yayo!
Tyler,
definitely-
by the way, this is the Silverthorn Runaway ramp that I'm posting right now, and it needs to be in this game.
Whoa.
Oh man, is that good looking? Not the dicks with chick. I'm looking at the
Good cover.
I'm looking
Good cover,
at-
Mike. Good cover.
I'm looking at the highway.
That's
nice.
actually Copper Mountain in the background.
My brother just moved to Steamboat.
Oh, nice. That's actually not
Yeah.
too far away.
But that's a town, not a boat.
Nice.
No, Steamboat Springs.
It's a
is down
town
south.
formed around a boat. They beached the boat and said, "Here we will form a new town."
How did we get the boat to the mountains?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Glaciers?
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's a long game right there. Playing that one.
That's
All right.
awesome.
I'm going to read a sentence from
Oh boy.
a comment on this game that I have found, and
Oh.
it is thumbs up recommended. Forbidden pleasure, hot juice dripping from adorable purring cats.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh.
Y'all need some Jesus.
I'm
You know
starting
what's
to get
sad is like when people leave Pornhub comments, that shit's hilarious. But when people leave Steam comments, I'm afraid that they're being serious about it.
Yeah.
I feel like this could absolutely be a segment every podcast would be the dark side of Steam.
The dark
This week
Steam,
on the dark side of Steam.
Steam,
This is like
Steam
our version
Incognito.
of lowered expectations.
Steam incognito mode.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they're paying attention to everything I click, I think I want a Steam incognito mode.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
We're gonna wake up tomorrow and our game selection is gonna be real weird.
That is why I'm not clicking on anything right now. I'm letting you guys
I'm gonna
do all the
close
work.
Steam, and now I'm gonna open Steam, and let's see what's changed.
It's just Dead or Alive 5 everywhere. Dead or
That's
Alive 5,
tame
Dead or Alive
compared to
Beach
some of the
Volleyball.
shit that was in my upcoming list. Oh god, I don't want to call it an upcoming list anymore. I'm not coming.
I have
New,
a
new releases,
No, don't say release.
up and coming new releases.
I have a good conundrum. I can't find any of these games
Don't say kind
to read funny things about, which is good
So-
because they're not appearing.
Lothar Vonti says about the game Love Stories, keep the mature content coming. Holy
Okay, we need to pivot. We need to pivot real bad.
He checked.
All right, back to the homepage. That's enough.
Oh.
Brent,
Well,
what you been playing?
What have I been playing? I've been playing a little bit of Overwatch, and every Friday I've been playing D&D with some people from work.
Every Sunday, the Bible.
Nope.
Yeah, you gotta start.
I might have to start after listening to the Dark Side of Steam. Oh, man. But yeah, I've just been playing D&D, you know, the old good old-fashioned tabletop game.
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I made it worse.
Which
What I heard about this something about a new MMO that you're looking forward to.
Oh, Ashes of
What's going
Creation.
on there?
That one. Ashes
What's that all about?
Oh gosh. Well, it's not even out yet. It's
know if I
hitting
trust
alpha release soon. But they're actually doing a really good job with communicating
How
with
much
their
does it
community.
cost?
Actually, when the game is
Well-
released fully, it's going to be a monthly subscription for $15 a month. There's no base cost for the game. You just pay the subscription and you get it.
Let me be more specific. How much did you spend?
I didn't spend any money yet.
Oh, you have not.
No, I have not. But if you want
Yeah.
to get into Alpha Access 2, you can spend $375. But also comes with other stuff. It's not just for the Alpha Access. It
So
comes
they
with
better come with a new computer.
It's not uncommon.
It's not.
I bought into the Elite Dangerous. I think I missed one of their earlier alpha waves, but I got into the first beta wave, and I think I spent like $150. But at that point, I'm paying for.
Yeah.
It comes down to like how much you really are
Yeah.
interested in a title like that. I don't do that very often because it's obscene to pay that kind of money to get into a video game. But if I feel like the money's actually going to go to the studio's going to put it towards the product, and we saw Elite Dangerous. I mean that game was fresh.
I didn't realize they had a similar program to that now.
They did, yeah. I actually got into one of the cheaper ones, but they had prices that went above that. And then obviously there's Star Citizen, which is its own fucking league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So-
did a 130 pack on the MISC and then spent another 100 on my Origin.
Yeah, the $375 goes into 9 months of game subscription, which is $135, and then you also get $125 of in-game currency, and there's no pay to win. So that's
I like that.
260.
I like that, and I don't at the same time. I really don't like prepaying blocks of subscription time, essentially.
But I mean, I
You're
see
gonna
they're trying to get.
past that 9 months, and then it's like
What?
alright.
Yeah.
What makes this game unique, I guess, from other?
It's
MMOs? I
it's
don't
a
know anything
very
about it.
it's gonna be a very ambitious MMO as far as what they want to accomplish. They have a whole node system where you actually progress each individual like territory on the server. Every server is gonna be different, so you're gonna be able to influence it. Like let's say you're playing an orc, or like you and your friends are all playing orcs. When you do stuff for that node, it's actually gonna level up and actually have like orcish architecture and be predominantly orc population, and then that can change as the game progresses if other races are doing stuff in that node. And then
Who gets to decide who up?
who
I'm assuming it's one person per server that's making a decision at a node or a region.
The nodes, upgrading nodes, like how they level up, it's a group activity, so it's everybody on the server is just contributing to the node to level it up. But every month they do have a mayor election for each node, so you are in charge of the town that's there. And they have 4 different types. They have scientific, and that's done through like a normal democracy. You vote for who you want to be in charge. And then you have a mercantile one, which highest bidder gets to be the mayor. Then there's a religious one, and it sounds like whoever just contributes the most to that node is the one who becomes the mayor. And then there is a militaristic one, which is just a battle royale. Last man standing is the mayor.
Like duels, last man standing.
Yep.
Nice.
And that will basically allow you to like assign resources. Whatever gets brought into the town, you can actually build up other things in that town or have it spent on other things around the node. And as the nodes grow, it actually locks out the nodes next to it, so they can't progress into being metropolises or whatever. And it also changes where raids happen and where dungeons are at. So it just keeps morphing as the game progresses.
From that sounds kind of neat. From a visual aspect, are we closer to like a WoW or an Elder Scrolls? Like
Say Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls.
Okay. More
I just
realistic.
posted a picture of a mount they have,
Yeah.
which is basically a leaf dragon.
Yes.
Like a fall leaf
that's
dragon.
that's pretty badass, actually.
So-
And yeah, the art. I've never heard of this game. I was just on the website. The art looks fantastic. I should also
really
mention
does.
there is a $75
Yes.
low buy-in.
There is a lower
Yeah.
buy-in.
Yes.
So
okay.
the other thing is, in this game, this is something I don't know. Some people might like it. Some people might hate it. But I like it. There's only probably gonna be about 10 flying mounts per server, and those are gonna
Wait,
go. Like,
what do you mean?
Flying mounts, like things that can actually fly like dragons.
10 people.
10
I mean
people.
the limit, though.
Yeah, like they say roughly 10 per server because they're going to be so rare. You're going to have 5 guild masters who own castles have a flying mount, and then there's other legendary drops that'll happen, and it's just going to be really rare for people to have flying mounts. There will be normal like ground land mounts, and there's actually a profession called husbandry, animal husbandry. So you can actually mate the mounts to get different color skins for the mounts and sell that.
That's really
So
cool.
basically, they're making a good Ultima Online again, where there's actually.
Don't say that.
I need to.
You can't recreate that. It's beautiful.
No, you can't. But there was such a. We're not going to get into an Ultima Online rant, but that. Oh man.
Like
It's a great game.
This game has legs. They're doing a really good job being in touch with their community that's actually looking at the project and watching it, trying to be there every step of the way, giving them feedback. They're being very transparent with what they're trying to do.
Holy shit.
They're always
there,
on Twitch.
Tyler, I checked out Intrepid Solutions, the studio.
They're
Yeah.
hiring.
Margaret Crone.
They make
Margaret Crone's their community marketing lead. She was she's community leader in PlanetSide 2.
Yeah, they got people from Sony SOE, right? Sony Online Entertainment.
Yeah.
Then they got people from Blizzard, and then there's another big one that they got employees from that, like working on this. I forget.
Recognize her with that purple hair.
I do love the concept art they've shown. Like, it is very like
It looks
high
good.
fantasy. It's very high fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 9 races. All races can play all classes. There's 8 classes. You get 1 primary, 1 secondary. So there's a total of 64 class combinations.
Mm-hmm.
And then each class is going to have like a special skill that other classes can't do. So like if you look at a rogue, they actually can be in dungeons, and they'll actually find extra loot to share with the party, or find a hidden door that you normally wouldn't see. And the doors in dungeons they're like random, so they're not always going to be there. So I thought that was kind of cool. So it's like you really should have a rogue in your party at all times, just to find extra loot.
About time.
And then I didn't really hear anything about the other classes, so I don't know what special things they bring to the party. But the crafting system, to touch on this real quick, you can do everything. You can craft everything. You can do it whatever you want, but you can only master one skill, one artisan skill. So you'd have to like really, do I really want to go into this one thing and just be the best at this one skill? And then you have to be in a group to actually get or part of a guild or a community to share those skills with each other.
So,
And then the combat system is also both active and
Yes.
tab target, and you can switch between the two.
Yeah, and
I got a question for you here,
Mhm.
just to get an idea of what $375 really gets me if I was to buy in.
Yep.
So I'm looking at some of this stuff, and I get it. You get the early testing phase access, which is it is what it is. But the other stuff that people are really going to start looking at here, like the concept art that Ryan posted there with that really cool leaf dragon thing. I'm looking at it here. It's called the Drake of the Canopy, and it is a mount cosmetic skin. So it doesn't look like it's actually a mount. You're just buying skins.
that one will be the skin, I guess. Yeah.
So where does the mount come from?
the animal husbandry people?
So like you're buying a skin. Is this a flying mount? I mean, because if they're this rare,
I'm not
would
too
we
sure.
be paying for?
If
Yeah,
that
I didn't really
fucker
look into those skins.
flew across my screen. I mean, it'd be a majestic day. Like that's
well, it seems interesting that I
It looks like a
appreciate the
flying
not
mount.
pay to win kind of thing,
Yeah.
but like what's the point in buying skins?
yeah.
Oh,
If only 10, if there's only 10 in existence.
Right.
The
Like,
other
it
thing I,
sounds
I,
like
ten
I
flying
don't like
mounts.
about that stuff is you're already talking microtransactions before the game's out of alpha, or even in
Yeah, which
alpha.
Star Citizen's had enough criticism for. And any early access game that starts nickel and diming you on Steam is going to get ripped on pretty hard.
I think the thing that people don't sort of realize about the ships they're buying in Elite Dangerous, at least the people that aren't as versed in it, you don't, like, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, but you don't take those ships into the game with you. Like, you have them unlocked, but you can't.
Elite.
Yeah, or not. Sorry, not Elite. Star Citizen. Like, because I bought the Freelancer and I bought
Yeah.
the Origin, but that's like I just can fly those in the pre, like the alpha, right? Like when the game comes out, I don't have those ships.
You do.
Oh, you do. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep. The ships that you pay for up front are ships that you will fly. Like that's in your account.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll start with that ship.
Okay.
Which has been a huge argument against Star Citizen, because like I like that, like, and I don't like that at the same time for the kind of prices that they charge.
But well, yeah, no, I think there's a misunderstanding of what that game is.
Yeah.
Because people are assuming it's gonna be like this dogfighting game when
It's not.
There's a streamer that I follow. He's called Uber Nerd, and the way he's been explaining the game is it's a universe sim, not a flight sim.
Yeah, it's not just a combat game.
Yeah, there's going to be like you can actually farm. Like you can be a farmer on a planet if you want. You can go explore. Like you can be a mercenary. Like there's so many different things you're going to be able to do.
It's literally all games.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Ashes seems interesting. It is really.
It does.
But there's not a ton of information out about it. I mean, the developers have come out and talked, about the combat system, about the crafting system, about the node system, but they also talked about the raid system, and Brent was saying, you can determine sort of where they are based on your activity in the world, but also when you're inside of a raid, how you're performing in the raid will dictate the difficulty of that raid. So if you smash the first boss, it's going to dynamically scale up the next bosses, and they'll drop better loot also.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's
Division. I think Division 2 has a very scalable world like that, but it doesn't learn from you. You got to change the setting manually, but same result. Tougher fights, better loot.
Yeah. Touching on that raid thing, I think I heard that there's 5 instant raids. Instance, that's the word. Raids. And then the other ones are going to be world raids.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that in EverQuest had those public raids and dungeons, which is really cool.
ESO's got the dolmens and a lot of the world bosses, which I can solo most of the world bosses now, by the way, Tyler.
There will be no fast traveling.
Yeah.
There'll be 0 fast traveling in Ashes.
That's...
Except for if you have a metropolis, and it's a scientific metropolis, then they can get a building built that allow you to transport yourself instantly to anything within its influence.
That's
that's way later though.
I appreciate that, but at the same time, I got a job, and
yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing is this is going to be 45 days to level with 6 hours played per day.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, I mean,
that ain't happening.
Creating a grind fest right now.
Well, this is and there's a lot of MMOs in development right now that are sort of catering to this ask of players. And I used to be this type of player back in Burning Crusade era of WoW, where I worked really hard and grinded my ass off to get my gear. Like I did all the raids, I did all the heroic dungeons, and I was one of the best geared characters on the server. And then I don't know exactly when this happened, but they released badge gear into the game where you could just run heroic dungeons and get comparable gear to the best raid. And at the time I hated it, but I was also in college and didn't have a life outside the game. But I wonder, now that I'm older, I've shifted and I like the fast travel in WoW. I like how fast I can get around. I love flying mounts. I wonder, and Pantheon is another example of a game where they're making it more slower paced, and they want you to be forced to group with people to build that social aspect, which sounds cool. And there are people asking for it. But I wonder how much of this might be you think you do, but you don't. And when people actually get into that grind, I'm sure there are a certain number of people that want that, but I wonder what percentage of the player base they actually represent. I'd be really interested to see how people engage with these games when they do come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to call myself an adult in body, but not in spirit. And with having a kid, a house, jobs, all that, man, I appreciate those little things where I can get more done in the limited time I have to play something.
Yeah.
You want to play the new stuff, but you need it.
Yeah.
Also, I crunched the numbers that you gave. It's 11.25 days played to hit level cap. Ashes.
Yeah.
11.25 days if you were to play
gameplay.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
To hit
/play.
And that is constantly trying just to level up. That's not even I'm going to do all these other things that the game offers.
And
that's a big ask of, I guess, I would say 90% of the
Well,
I'm not going to throw a percentage, I guess, but
yeah,
that's a big ask.
33.33 repeating.
Repeating, of course.
Yes.
So that's ESO. Like that's where I think ESO really shines as an
Yes,
MMO.
absolutely.
They nailed their leveling mechanic because it's really easy. Like for the amount of content that's in that game, you can almost hit level 50 in like Somerset or Morrowind, just that one zone.
Yep.
And then
And everything scales, doesn't it?
It does.
Anywhere. Yeah.
It does up to like you hit level 50 and then you unlock the champion point system and then you get to champion point 160 and then scaling stops. But what that means is you hit level 50, you have access to everything now. You're good to go. But the champion points, that's when you really start to show off kind of how much time and effort you've put into the game, how long you've been around, what kind of grinding, what kind of experience you might have. But you still have access to everything without having to put too much time in. And then you can start building your character at max level and you don't actually have to worry about replacing gear so much, which is really obnoxious. I hate that in every game. I hate it in shooters. Like it's such a logical fallacy to think that there's like 60 or 600 M60 machine guns that I'm going to find out in Division 2. I just need to find the one that's level 50 and not level 49. And
that was the same...
I have a game for you then.
Oh.
So, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Good, huh? Oh yeah, you're right. All right, let's dive in.
Should I start with the new Xbox itself? Or...
Yeah, go. Why don't we? Because this is first time in many years. This week, a couple new consoles have been released, and one of our people actually has one. So why don't you dive into that first?
So I pre-ordered the Xbox. I'm gonna mess up the name. Series X, which is it's a tower of. I'm gonna call it a tower of power, whatever you want to call it. I was really hesitant going into this console generation because I think we're hitting the diminishing returns in graphics. And we are not. We are now at the point where frame rate really matters and load times. And I'll tell you right off the gate, I can't go back to anything on a disk drive. I can't. It feels like, and I don't say this like lightly, it feels like I hooked up a really good PC to my TV in the living room right now.
It is a computer. I mean,
it is. And I guess to kind of go back a little bit for our listener, you haven't been playing PC for a little while, have you? You've been playing
5 months and 5 days.
Okay, been playing.
Oddly specific.
Pretty specifically, 5 months and 5 days. My PC is still perfectly fine, capable, and solid, and up here in my office. However, with a infant, it is not feasible to play PC games. So I've been playing a lot on the One X and Switch. So the Xbox One X can float a ping pong ball. I think it looks better than the PS5. I will be getting a PS5 most likely within the next month for Demon Souls and a couple other things.
Ryan, I don't think your mantle can hold that much weight.
It's girthy. But it does. It really feels like I hooked up a really solid PC to my living room TV. Load times are insane. Even on older games, I booted up Red Dead from a cold boot to online in under 30 seconds.
Holy shit!
Yeah. It does some really cool things. It has an auto HDR that applies to an old game. So of course, the first thing I did was boot up Skate 3.
That's when you get new hardware.
Yeah, booted up Skate 3. That's another thing that should be mentioned too. I mean, it's got a tons of backwards compatibility, and there are some Xbox One, Xbox 360 games that I still like to go back to. Skate 3 being one of them. Stardew Valley has auto HDR.
Why?
It's a blanket thing. It applies to everything really, but it's cool because it's going back and kind of applying a blanket to a lot of these things. And if again, I have a TV that we bought that I spent some decent money on that can do these things. HDR to me, I take HDR over 4K any day. To be completely honest, HDR is a game changer when it comes to graphics. So leading up to that, the two games, because they applied an update to No Man's Sky on the console.
Yeah, I think it's Next Generation, the name of it.
a couple days ago, didn't it?
Oh, that game is just a game that keeps giving.
It does. It really does.
After the flop launch.
Oh my god, it is like the greatest come from behind victory story of all time.
It really is.
And it's still winning.
Yep, 4K 60 solid on the system now, which is awesome. They upped the multiplayer to actually be what the PC is, so 32 people. And I think they may have removed, if not, they completely expanded the building limits so these bases can get out of control now, which is awesome. But Assassin's Creed Valhalla is really, really impressive to see on a next generation system. Mike, you were mentioning you hate replacing weapons. Like, I found it axe plus 2. You only find one of each item in the game.
Yeah, that's kind of an Assassin's Creed thing, right?
No. In Odyssey, the one previous to this, you were finding like weapons and bodies, duplicates, stuff like that level. What they did is they got rid of levels in the game and they made it like a power system like you would have in Destiny.
Oh, cool.
But you only find one of each, and what you can do is then use your resources to upgrade it. And whenever you upgrade an item, it actually changes the appearance.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so they did that. God, that fast travel in that game is like 3 seconds, and you're there. Like, I don't know why we have load screens anymore. With the text and the tooltips.
I think when we SSDs are insanely fast right now, but once everything starts basically operating on, like at some point, right, we had spinning disks, they became SSDs, and now we're on SSD like 6 gig lanes, and now we're on M2 drives, which are using PCI slots. Like eventually RAM and storage are going to merge, and then there is no load screen need because all of the game's assets are in your random access memory, which is your storage at the same time, and loading screens will be gone. And I feel like we'll get there. And
even like unique thing that's making Series X faster. I'm not going to say it in PC. There's options for PC, very expensive options, but there's options for PC that are just absurd. But one thing is with the pipeline that Microsoft engineered, to where typically you have your hard drive, your SSD, still kind of feeding through the CPU and all that kind of stuff. Well, now the M2 is bypassing the CPU and going straight. It's direct storage. So there's one more little piece of it that's removed, that's just kind of reducing latency. And it's pretty crazy what they've done.
They are using M2 drives in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's like, to even expand on that, on the memory swappability is kind of like what AMD is doing right now, and why I'm waiting to see the new 6000 series to come out, is because they're saying that the Ryzen 5000 series will work with the GPU to enhance performance. And seeing that Zen 3 architecture went from having a split L2, L3 cache to a single L3 cache so that all cores can reach in and grab stuff, I'm really interested to see how fast that increases it, because it almost seems like the compute units will be able to grab as much cache as they need, as well as the GPU being able to just go in there and be like, I need this, hey, and then just like everything will just be instant. Instead of having to transfer between PCI Express lanes, like it's all just instantly hooked together.
Yeah.
Which even PCI Express lanes, I mean, we're on 4.0, it's fast as fuck, it doesn't really matter, but even to get that extra, millisecond adds up when you're on loading screens.
Yeah, and just again, coming from a console perspective, like it's really hard to justify upgrading my PC right now. Like, I know you get better gains out of a PC if you put the money in with like a 3000 series card or whatever, AMD's putting out next. But for a $500 box sitting on my mantle, it's
hard to beat. That's really hard to beat.
It's baffling. It really is. Like I said, I'm running it's full 4K, 60 FPS locked on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the game is gorgeous. I'm interested to see when games are actually developed for these systems. We can kind of put like the Xbox One and PS4 behind us because they're developing with both in mind. Because you still see the rough edges or the older stuff, like the animations. Like, when I think of the best animations in games, I'm probably going to go back to Red Dead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you get some of those outdated ones that kind of take you out of it. But just another cool feature is Quick Resume. Have you guys heard about this at all?
No.
So, basically, it goes off the system RAM, but you can have anywhere between 2 to 5 games kind of, if you've played them recently, and you just kind of go to your home screen and start up another one, it doesn't shut that game out. It leaves it running.
Oh, so like the Switch, basically. Look what the Switch does.
It's way beyond that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I can literally stop playing my Switch, put it in dock, leave it for 6 months, come back to it. My game's still sitting right where I left it.
Get this, Mike. So I was watching Giant Bomb the other day, and they had like a console. It was like a streaming day. They did PS5 and then they did Xbox One or Series X, and they not only does Quick Resume do the last. It's actually, I think, more than 5. No one has an exact number.
It can be. It depends on each game. Like each
but
game,
you can literally unplug the console for days and plug it back in, power it back up, and you still have your Quick Resume.
That's impressive. That's real cool.
So example for me.
But one game was the Banjo-Kazooie, right? They were just a back compat. They wanted to check it out, and it's like super high res now, weirdly enough. But they played that game months ago, and they have done lots of other games before that, and they hopped back in just for funsies, and they still had their Quick Resume on it.
Wow.
So, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Like, I had Dark Souls 3, Red Dead. No, not Red Dead, because I think Red Dead, I was online and it kicks you out of that, so that wouldn't work. Dark Souls 3, Stardew Valley, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and a 4th game. And basically, I hit home and went from Assassin's Creed to Dark Souls, and it wasn't like it took me to the main menu. It took me to where I was in the game within 3 seconds.
That's pretty cool.
It's really, again, talking about respecting your time, it does respect your time. It's all about getting you in as quick as possible. Even from, like, if I turn the system on, I can be within a game probably within 7 to 10 seconds. That's including hitting the home screen, selecting it, and it loading. Like, actually playing it. So, it's pretty impressive hardware. I'm looking forward to trying out a PS5, especially with the haptic feedback on the controller. I just hate how it looks so bad.
Yeah, I mean, you guys put that video in Flavortown the other day. That was pretty good.
It is so. Why does it have wings?
I don't know.
Because it's.
I actually read it's for the airflow, for the exhaust, but I don't care. It doesn't need to look like some alien router.
I mean, you need airflow, but you can make it look good.
Like, I'm not alone. It doesn't look good, right?
You don't have to make it look like the Pope's hat. I mean, shit.
It looks, it's got a lot of really nice details, but it
looks like a modern art piece.
Yeah.
It is. It's very, like, I don't know. Like, I'll post a picture in our Discord for you guys. I moved some stuff. I cleaned up the wires, Mike.
I'd rather see, if you're going to post a picture of PS5, I'd rather see rapey hentai.
No, I'm going to post it on PS5.
Chicks with dicks, man. Oh, anything.
We all know what we're here for.
These girls are packing heat.
Keep it coming. Like, it's a 55-inch TV.
It's a 55-inch Xbox.
It's girthy. It's a girthy boy.
Yeah. It's on the other side now.
Is it a boy?
I mean, when you're built like that, you better be.
Ryan, I know those are fire pokers below it, but I legit, for a second, thought those were swords.
No, those are fire pokers. And you can see the Xbox One X with a crate on top of it in the corner.
Yeah.
And everything baby related. And the origami swan.
See, I'm going to call you out here, Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you organized the cords or you just cut it off in the picture.
No, I just did it like the Xbox. So the TV I have actually has built-in wire hiders in the back. It's one of the Samsung Series 8s. So you actually, the cords feed into the back of the TV, like a little loop. It's pretty cool.
Feed me, daddy.
I'm picturing just duct tape, just a thing of duct tape just slapped.
No. It's a lot more organized.
My setup.
Yeah. Is the kid's bouncy chair suspended on the door frame, right?
Yeah, it's a jolly
jumper. Do you ever swing that thing?
Yes.
Like 90 degrees up on one side of the door frame and then let it go to 90 degrees on the other side and just like really,
with or without the child?
There's only one answer here, right?
No, I mean, we'll take it back about
I haven't touched the ceiling yet.
No, we take it back about 20 degrees and kind of let it. She likes that, but Yeah, baby shit everywhere.
Oh, no.
Literal shit or baby stuff that.
Both. Dude, she had a blowout yesterday that hit her neck.
Oh, yeah,
She blew out from. She shat so hard. She was sitting in my lap, and we were watching TV, and she farted so hard that it like ricocheted off the diaper, and it came out the back of her onesie at her neckline.
oh, holy crap! Yeah,
I am become poop.
It was kind of like, you know how you guys would make volcanoes for science class? Imagine that with poop and clothing.
Oh no!
Yeah, that sounds like immediately in the bath, hose and everything. Just
Oh yeah, we did a bath, and it's funny. I mean, nobody ever tells you this. No one tells you this. Babies don't fart like babies; they fart like grown ass people.
Yeah.
Just let her out and backyard first.
She has woken us up in the middle of the night, just ripping ass.
With a baby monitor, right?
We have her in a little bassinet in our bedroom still.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah. Also, if you ever have a kid, don't do the bedroom, like remake the nursery until they're like 6 months old, because you're not going to use it until then.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, one thing I will mention, Ryan, if you do get into Phasma, be prepared to be freaked out by your child and your child's toys. Because the experiences that I had, I felt like I was living an immersive sim in my house. Because, so, first of all, Oliver has these like electronic puzzles that will just go off randomly. And so Spencer and I are sitting in our offices, we're playing with the lights off, you know. And I have all the lights in the house off and everything. And Oliver sometimes will wake up and come out of his room, and he likes to flip light switches, so, and like open and close doors, and so I'm sitting here with the lights off playing Phasmophobia. And next thing I know, I look out my office and lights are flipping on, his puzzles are going off, doors are closing. It's like, what is happening?
All right,
oh my god,
I'm playing Phasmophobia tonight. You guys gotta introduce me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's also baby toys. You step on them all the time. I'm just gonna let
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, I do.
Step on stuff.
Is there a ghost in Phasmophobia that just messes with you with Legos and baby toys and shit?
No, but there is like child ghosts that crawl around on the ground.
Yeah, like Grudge style.
Ah.
Do they?
But there are like
shit up their neckline.
I want to recommend that. You should add that as the next sandwich for ghosts.
Give us just a real baby.
Give us this time. Yeah, he is here.
I lost my camera because the baby pooped on it.
Dude, clean that, wipe it off.
There's no saving that.
You can't wear white or black in my house because black the dog hair shows up and white the baby poop shows up.
Yeah.
Like there's no denying it. And babies leak out of every orifice thing.
I don't want one. I don't want one.
Yeah. 0 out of 10 won't recommend.
We do need to get like a group of us. I know we played with a couple other like outside groups like Tess and them. But we need to get a group of just us playing Among Us.
I'm down for that. I have yet to actually play with
the most retarded humans in the world. So it would just devolve so fast.
And I do not trust any one of you.
Oh no,
it's gonna be
not at all.
In fact, I'm wishlisting that. Somebody, whenever that decision is made, let me know because I'm definitely playing with you guys.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
I have it downloaded and installed right now. I'm ready to play.
I like $3.
I gotta. Yeah, it's $5. Not bad at all. What's all these fucking bundles? Oh, pets. Yeah, I'm not buying that. Fuck that.
I will buy Among Us right now just to have Among Us.
Yeah, we'll play eventually. There was going to be an Among Us 2, right? Because Among Us has been out for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Viral.
And now it just exploded on Twitch, and now they're not doing Among Us 2. They're taking everything they were going to do in Among Us 2 and just including it for free in Among Us.
Which is fantastic. Like, I hate... honestly, like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, for example, like that's a Call of Duty that really breaks out of its own mold, and it's awesome. And I want them to put the time in to keep adding content because I want to come back to that game. That game is so good. Yeah. And I hate it when you have something amazing and you think that the answer is to make another version and have people buy a complete new copy of the game. There's no call for that.
Yeah.
Right. Even as cheap as Among Us is, like even if they were just like, hey guys, we took
all
the features we were gonna do and put it into this. It's $5. Is that okay? I'd be like, fuck yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, there's no need for them. they could have just released a second one. No one would have questioned them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what it is. Well, the reason they wanted to do a second game is because some of the fundamental code base doesn't really allow them to do the things they want to do in the first game. But I think one of the main. Well, first of all, because they got so many people on it, they want to capitalize on it now and get this stuff in. But also, I think they're afraid, like marketing wise, because of how hot the game is, that if they released the second game, they would lose some number of players with the second title that wouldn't come over.
Yeah,
and they probably made a shit ton of money off of the microtransactions.
People buying the stuff,
all those pets.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention just the exposure itself.
Yeah,
I mean, going viral like that is.
Well, it's I mean, like you go on when it was at its peak, and it's still popular. You had like the top streamers on Twitch all playing together, bringing all those communities together, and bringing all that all the eyes on the game from those perspectives as well. So, yeah, it's definitely like they're probably in crunch mode now, just trying to get stuff into the game and keep people playing it.
Right.
You guys know what else is getting a free update?
What's that?
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Another game that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
That game.
Can you grow a field of dicks?
I'm pretty sure there's a mod for that.
I sit on
There's a Pokemon mod actually.
Well, shit, I mean, there'd be a mod for it now. We had that idea 3 years ago.
Actually, I got a random piece of Steam news I was not aware of. I wish Josh was here, but
Base Walk Report?
No, I was on the page for Smite.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, they added the Ninja Turtles.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Sure, why not?
I saw that.
What
Right on.
What pantheon do they come from?
They're skins.
Winter?
No, they're skins for the gods that are already there. I don't know what gods though.
There's skins?
Yeah, they're skins for the gods that are in the game. They did the same thing with Ruby, the anime.
That's
and
stupid.
Avatar.
Yeah, and Avatar.
They added Avatar to the game?
Deep Space Waifu.
Going back to Among Us, does anybody know who Josh Dubs is? Or Josh Dub, whatever? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's Djibouti. I don't think it's the same person. I'm not sure. But anyways, he's playing Among Us VR with his group, and it's really interesting to watch. Because
VR?
Yeah, they have VR Among Us.
Yeah, there is one.
So
what does the VR give you? Normal experience doesn't.
I mean, it's just him. I mean, obviously they do a bunch of shit VR, and it's just hilarious listening to their group of people.
Well, I mean, it's just like it's not.
I guess it changes. It's first person now, so I guess it just changes your perspective of the game.
That's cool.
Yeah, just a giant open world and a 3D world.
Yeah.
Going around pretending to do your tasks.
Well, yeah, they actually go and they actually have to do the hand motions to do the tasks. So whoever did the adaptation for the VRs did a really good job for it.
Yeah.
You guys, we should have brought up this game. It happened, middle of COVID and whatnot. But Mountain Blade 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's good.
God, it's still in early access.
I'm letting that one develop a little, bake a little, But I was playing it when quarantine took off because that was right when lockdown started, right? Which is kind of good to have a game like this with like I downloaded Original Sin 2 for the next wave of lockdowns. I'm gonna actually try to get past Act 1 on that one.
Yeah, I need to do the same thing. I'll join you.
I got through Act 1 like 17 million times.
Yeah,
never.
He kept doing co-op in that game, and everyone would start a new damn game.
Yeah. But we always had a different experience. That was the best part.
I don't know. If y'all played with me, y'all had the same experience. You were on fire.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's just a feature.
That's why I made the ice character, so I can put myself out.
Put everybody out.
Also, I do want to.
Fantastic.
Really I do want to take a kind of a poll, everyone. Being that Minecraft Steve is now in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I updated my Smash Brothers.
That was rumored for so long.
Yeah.
Did Fox really sell his Switch?
Yeah, he did that like 2 years ago. I hit 8,000 battles online.
I have one.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I played a lot of Smash Brothers.
Playing Pokemon Sword.
Oh yeah, I want to play it.
Tell me about the expansion.
I haven't gotten to the expansion yet because I literally bought the game last week. I just needed something to do where I wasn't next to a computer or a television, and
still got a screen, Mike.
Yeah, but I don't have the news on my Switch or anything like. Not you, Tyler.
Oh
but,
God, with the election.
Yeah, the election.
It's not you, Tyler.
I wanted to be able to do something fun and not be near anything that was going to tell me about the real world. And dude, Sword or Shield, whichever one you get, they're really, really good. It's all the things that I remember back when I played like Pokemon. The I don't know if it's yellow. I think it was yellow or gold. Game Boy Color, back in those days, basically.
Yeah.
But it's got all the Pokédexes. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the Colts and the Titans beating each other up right now. It's pretty cool. There was about to be. That game is fantastic, and I still have to finish Breath of the Wild. Actually, Switch is amazing.
Yeah, I actually just got a Switch, so I need to start picking up games for it.
You should pick up Smash. We should play
Smash. Yeah, I highly recommend Smash, Breath of the Wild. I would pick up one of the Pokemon, Sword or Shield. They're awesome.
Oh, Hades! Pick up Hades.
Yeah, I've seen a lot in that game.
Holy crap, that game!
Stardew Valley.
Yeah, that's Stardew Valley. That's a given. Any system you own by Stardew Valley. I've only bought it 7 times.
Including for other people in some cases.
No, that's not including for other people.
Oh, okay.
I have it on iPhone. I have it on Android, Switch. I have it on PC. I have it on Xbox. I have it on PS4, and I have it on. I'm missing a system or something.
Your smart fridge.
No, maybe I only bought it. I
Tesla.
bought every copy for myself on every system. Concerned Ape deserves all our money. And then how many? I bought it for you, Tyler, didn't I?
You bought it for me on PC.
You bought it for me on PC as well because I had it on Xbox, and when I first got my PC.
Yeah, I bought it for Josh.
Yep.
Nate, did I buy it for you?
No, I bought it myself.
Oh, okay. I bought Stardew Valley a lot.
I bought it for Sebi.
Okay, it was paying it forward. That is a game you pay it forward with.
I still have yet to play a multiplayer in that game.
Same.
It's really good.
So this is how nerdy I get with it. I set it to multiplayer even though I'm only playing by myself because you can customize how much money you earn. And then I set it to 50%, so it makes it harder.
Oh.
Dude, Hades looks sick.
Hades is very good.
I don't like that style of game, but I have been considering it because of how well that game is made.
So it is. You guys are familiar with Supergiant, who makes like Bastion, Transistor. Yeah. It plays more like a really good version of Bastion. It is a roguelike. However, the narrative is fueled by you dying.
Yes, I'm seeing this. This is cool.
So dying's never a bad thing in those games. There's progression. But it takes it to another level. It's a narrative. You are the son of Hades, and you are trying to make your way out of hell. And every time you die, the plot progresses. Different characters have different reactions. It's even cool because the people you fight in the game when you're out trying to escape are also in the hub world, and they will talk to you about the fight you had with them and everything. And even when you run into them again, if you fight them again, they bring up your last battle, stuff like that. It's very, very impressive. It does a little bit of what Bastion did really well, where they have a narrator dialoguing in certain scenes what you're doing. The soundtrack's fantastic, all that good stuff. So I highly... It's on Steam and Epic Game Store as well. So.
I feel like this would be a good one to have on the Switch. I'm always looking for stuff to put on the Switch now.
It is. It runs good. It gets chunky in a few places, but nothing game-breaking. So... and the art style lends itself to being like a little...
It looks fantastic. Yeah, the art style looks...
It does. And again, the soundtrack to it is fantastic. I mean, every Supergiant game has a really good soundtrack, in my opinion. But this one, it's not quite like Bastion, which I think it was... oh, Nate, what was the name of that song from Bastion? It's not Coming Home.
That one is good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. It's Coming Home, yeah. Yeah. Very, very, very good game.
Yeah, I had one of the best ever narrator monologues of all time. I mean, that was just amazing.
So I think we're coming to the point where we're wanting to wrap up the show. So I would say, as a quick sign-off, what's the best thing that's been in your mouth in the last week?
In the last week, fuck. Trisha just made, actually, probably my dinner.
I thought you were going to stop at Trisha. Sorry.
You guys missed
We're back to the Korean barbecue. God damn it.
But we were with friends, and my eyes were closed. We were playing Who's in My Mouth.
Oh,
Okay.
No, Trisha made dinner, and the chicken was fucking awesome. But she had nothing, Trisha. Nothing.
what?
Don't compliment her.
She, along with the chicken, she made avocado with what was that, lemon lime? Trish, what'd you put on there? What? Yeah, the avocado salsa. But what did you put on the avocado? There was cilantro and what?
I mean, avocado cilantro sounds dope.
Cilantro, salt, lime, what? Red wine vinegar? Yeah, that is delicious because like avocado is really good on its own, but I mean, all of that together, you get this really nice sort of tart, sour kind of thing going with it. And oh man, yeah, that's definitely the best thing I've had in my mouth this week.
Mine is actually, it was earlier this week, but also right this very second. Root beer, A&W root beer, and Fireball is what I've been drinking tonight.
Oh,
It actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Mine is I'm currently drinking Blanton's.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a good thing to have in your mouth.
Fine bourbon.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually the same bottle I had 3 years ago. When we were doing this podcast, I actually saved half of it. I figured I'd have a little sippy sip while we were enjoying each other's company.
Brent had a mind flayer in his mouth.
Yes, I did. It was delicious. I got myself a D&D cookbook, and I didn't realize how sophisticated it actually was. I thought it was just a novel idea. Yeah.
I thought you were saying you literally got throw fucked by a mind flayer.
No, it's literally a vodka.
Yeah, this cookbook has more like fancy ass like recipes in here than I was anticipating. So I'm very happy that I bought it. And that thing is a very delicious drink.
$5 vodka? Wow.
I'm going to update mine. Just because you said that, Ryan, it reminded me that I still have the flask you gave during the wedding with some of that.
That's a very expensive fifth.
Yeah. So I just took a swig of that, and that is my new best thing in my mouth.
So, for perspective, that whiskey was sailed around the world while it was in the keg.
Yeah, they're aged in barrels on old ships that sail around the world the equivalent of one time.
Carried by real pirates with real scurvy.
But the thing that I guess that changes it is because usually when you're aging stuff like that, it's sitting still, and because rocking and stuff like that, it changes. It was delicious.
Yeah.
For $170.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Anyway.
I mean, that was on my wedding night, but
Nate,
Nate,
in your mouth.
God, I really haven't put anything good in my mouth lately.
Just Taco Bell.
Dirty son of a bitch.
Nimmy, garbage mouth.
There you go. No, probably it. I just had some rainbow sushi last night. It was pretty delicious.
Nice.
I love sushi. Well, okay, so I'm supposed to be on carnivore diet, but I think I've decided that I've given up because the best thing that's been in my mouth over the last week has been quesadillas because my mom got me a quesadilla maker for my birthday, mainly so I could make them for Oliver. But I've just been I've been experimenting with quesadillas. God darn, do I love quesadillas!
You know what works in a pinch if you don't have a quesadilla maker?
Iron.
A panini press.
Oh yeah, I was making them on the panini press, and it does work. It makes them flat, and you get the panini lines. But hey, it tastes the same. So
I like panini lines on my quesadilla. I'm gonna be honest. I think I prefer them.
You can cut them into strips, and then you got quesadilla nut strip.
Yeah, Ryan, that's a quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
And on that note, I end it on the quesadilla.
Not a mention.
Yeah, there you go, viewer. You now know about the quesadilla. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, our one listener.
It's a podcast wrap.
Facts.
All right, everybody have a great night.
You too, guys. Have a good one.
Let's go get scared.
Adios.